Good morning, Assihaugen residents and staff. This is current events for Friday, September 25th, 2020. We're going to start out with 3 obituaries of residents who've passed away over the last week. The first resident to pass away was Ethel Ellingson, who passed away on September 20th, and this is her obituary. Ethel Ellingson, age 92 of Decorah, Iowa, passed away on Sunday, September 20th at Assihaugen Senior Services in Decorah. A graveside service will be held at 2 p.m. on Friday, September 25th at the Canoe Ridge Lutheran Cemetery with Reverend Stacy Nailing Carlson presiding. Ethel Jeanette Bigler Ellingson was born on February 21st, 1928, the daughter of Elmer and Tilvina Bigler in rural Winneshiek County, Iowa. She was baptized at St. John's Lutheran Church in Locust. Ethel attended Pleasant Country School No. 7 until 8th grade. She was united in marriage to Thomas Ellingson on May 8, 1949 at St. John's Lutheran Church. Together they had 3 children, Judy, Rick, and Tammy. Ethel and Tom farmed together for many years, along with her working at the Wapsie Produce in Decorah. She then went to work for Decorah Hospital, where she worked until her retirement at the age of 81. Ethel enjoyed gardening, flowers, cooking for holidays, and having her family home to celebrate these occasions. She loved canning and freezing her produce. Her sweet corn was everyone's favorite. She was an active member of the Canoe Ridge Lutheran Church. And here's her photo. We will all miss Ethel very much. Next, we have Dorothy Halverson. Dorothy Halverson, 91 of Decorah, died Wednesday, September 16, 2020 at Assihaugen Senior Services in Decorah. Private family funeral services were held at 11 a.m. Monday, September 21st at Washington Prairie Lutheran Church in rural Decorah with Reverend Dr. Jennifer Ettinger officiating. Burial was in the church cemetery. Dorothy May Flaskerud Halverson was born May 18, 1929 in Kalmar, the daughter of Julius and Anna Flaskerud. She met the love of her life, Orville K. Halverson, at the local roller rink. They were married on Thanksgiving Day, November 25, 1948, and began their life together on the Halverson farm near Nordness. Dorothy and Orville had 3 children, Deborah, Kevin, and Lietta. After the death of their son Kevin in 1975, they transitioned from farming to working in town and built the home of their dreams on Minoa Heights. They spent countless hours watching their 4 grandsons in wrestling, football, baseball, and track events, and put many miles on their car driving across Nebraska to see 2 granddaughters in Colorado. After Dorothy retired from the Winneshiek County Memorial Hospital in the dietary department, Dorothy became a volunteer at the same hospital. She was awarded the Governor's Volunteer Award for 10 years of service in 2011 and continued volunteering for another 5. Dorothy and Orville loved music and were often seen kicking up their heels at the local dance halls. She was a leader in the church, spending many years in the Welka at Washington Prairie Lutheran Church. She loved flowers and gardens, especially the first radishes of spring. During her spare time, she walked, bowled in the winter, did boppers, the summer water aerobics in the summer. Of course, her main love was making lefse. Every fall, she woke early to roll the lefse that people from Decorah and the surrounding area would purchase for the holidays. She made the best lefse. Dorothy had a wonderful spirit of love and giving, and she will be dearly missed by her family and friends. Dorothy spent the last 4 years at assisted living at the Assihaugen home. She became famous as the face on the billboard for assisted living last October. She went into hospice care in March and died at Assihaugen with her daughters by her side on Wednesday, September 16, 2020. Okay, and then we have the obituary for Olive Sims. There's a lot of obituaries today. Olive Sims, 97, of Decorah, passed away Monday, September 21st, 2020, at Ossie Haugen Senior Services in Decorah. Olive Ruth Fretheim Sims was born on March 23rd, 1923, to Olaf and Ruby Loney Fretheim in Madison Township of Winneshiek County. Olive attended school in Decorah and St. Charles, Minnesota. She worked at and later owned Town & Country Gifts for over 30 years and enjoyed helping many couples with their bridal registries and wedding plans. After retiring, Olive still enjoyed working with people. She worked at the various elections and with her son Jim at Radio Shack. She also worked with her daughter-in-law Elaine at Elaine's, with her daughter Kathy at her business Hales 2. She always wanted to keep busy and help wherever she could and enjoyed all the people she worked with. Olive was an avid dog lover and enjoyed taking her dog Coco to the Doug Road to watch all the walkers and to be outside. Olive married Harold Simmy Sims in Castle Rock, Minnesota in 1942, and they spent most of their married lives in Decorah. Together they had 3 children, Donald, who died at birth, Jim, and Kathy. They enjoyed many summer weekends fishing and going to the beach with good friends on the Mississippi River in Harper's Ferry. Olive was a longtime member of the Decorah Chamber of Commerce, First Lutheran Church, and VFW Auxiliary. Funeral services were Thursday, September 24th at 1 p.m. at the Schluter-Balick Funeral Home with Reverend Melissa Bills officiating. Special music was by Greg Wennis. Okay, so that's it for obituaries today. Now we can go on to reading the regular paper. Oofda, that's 7 minutes of obituaries. All right, we've got the Driftless Journal for Tuesday, September 22nd. On the cover are 2 interesting stories. We've got one about an Iowa shrimp farm and one about preserving gravestones. So we'll read the shrimp farm first. Iowa shrimp farm is shrimp-tastic. Here's the photo. And it says, what comes to mind when you hear the words Pacific white shrimp? The swell of the ocean, the cry of seagulls in the background? How about the sound of corn and soybeans rustling in the summer breeze? Shrimptastic in Fayette raises and sells fresh shrimp to a customer base living thousands of miles from the nearest ocean. The company, founded by John and Sharon Orr, is now owned by Brandon Albertson of Calmer. Production manager Austin Ives said Shrimptastic buys young shrimp from a hatching facility located in Florida, which supplies approximately 30,000 shrimp in each shipment. The shrimp are very small, about the size of a human eyelash, and have to get acclimated to the Iowa facility. They have to get used to the oxygen levels in what I've called our nursery tanks for about a month, I've said. Then we separate the shrimp out based on weight. We separate them when they get to about, let's see, Shrimptastic. When they get to about 1 gram, there's no way we could count them. There's just too many. There are 27 rearing pools in the Shrimptastic facility. Just 2 of the pools are nursery pools, and then the shrimp are sorted out into groups of 2,000 each. They stay in those pools until the customers come to get them. Shrimp is available either fresh or frozen. And then they've included a recipe for a scrumptious shrimp, which is basically butter, a lemon, shrimp, and Italian seasoning. And you put it all in the oven. Sounds pretty good. All right, the next article is Grave Concerns, Preserving Our History. An interested crowd turned out at a recent Wednesday for a day-long workshop with Jonathan Apple at the Frankville Cemetery. Apple is a noted spokesman on preserving gravestones and monuments. He was traveling across the country teaching the cleaning, repairing, and resetting of grave markers. His visit to Winneshiek County is part of a schedule of 48 free workshops in 48 states in 48 days. The Winneshiek County Pioneer Cemetery Commission hosted the speaker. The event was free and open to the public. And here you see some people working on some gravestones. All right. Let's see. We've got the South Winneshiek Homecoming Royalty, because it's that time of year. Here's the King and Queen. Nice dress. And it's Mary Frana and Jacob Harold. Congratulations to them. There's a walk to end Alzheimer's on October 3rd. There's a hawk watch set for October 3rd. What's that, we ask? The Driftless Area Wetland Center, in partnership with Upper Iowa Audubon Society and Driftless Area Bird Conservation, will host Hawk Watch Saturday, October 3rd. This event celebrates the magnificent fall migration of hundreds of thousands of raptors and other birds along the Mississippi River Flyway. Hawk Watch is a free event designed to appeal to everyone, including families, amateur birders, and raptor enthusiasts. Birding experts will be on hand to help identify raptors and other birds migrating through the area. Well, that sounds kind of fun. Okay, we've got the shrimp thing. And we keep going. There's a lot of ads because it's the Driftless Journal, and that's how they keep printing it, by having lots of ads. Okay. Annual Iowa Barn Foundation's Fall Tour is September 26th and 27th. And it says, most barns on tour have been restored with matching grants from the Iowa Barn Foundation. Other property owners received awards of distinction from the foundation for restorations they undertook themselves. And they've got a picture of the Colesrud Barn in Waukon. This dairy barn was believed to be built in the early 1900s. The Colesrud Barn was built in 1870. Let's see. Well, it's a very nice looking barn. Just what you'd want to think of if you were thinking of a beautiful old red barn with a brick base. And then we've got the Lee Oakley Barn in Decorah with native limestone. Norwegian barn was built by John Johnson in 1862. There we go. And those are just two of the barns you could see on the fall tour. Okay, so we've got Echoes of the Past. Bank cashier saves the day by crawling through vault door. What? 100 years ago, last week, the Citizens Savings Bank officials were barred from getting any money out of the big vault with which to transact the day's business. The reason was the time lock on the vault door refused to open. They started drilling through the stone and concrete wall of the vault and were compelled to burn out a hole in the steel lining big enough for a man to crawl through. Assistant cashier Bucknell crawled through the hole and released the bolts on the door. The bank was compelled to borrow money from the other banks in town to tide them over during the crisis. A number of autos got stuck in the mud near the Shedgrud farm out on the Trout Run Road the other Sunday evening. Of course, the Board of Supervisors came in for a cussing, but they are not to blame. The piece of road is under repair now and will be thoroughly graveled. If the rain hadn't come, this stretch of road would have caused no trouble at all. There is a rumor that a great many people living in a third ward of Decorah are desirous of having the voting place changed from the second floor of the city hall to some ground floor location. It is quite a climb for the elderly to get up those second floor stairs, and we believe the suggestion of a change is a good one. This is still from 1920. The Census Bureau here in Winneshiek County is showing a population of 22,091, an increase of 262 from the last census 10 years ago. It shows that old Winneshiek is holding its own and then some. 1930, 90 years ago. There's a particularly dangerous corner at the junctions of Highway 55 and 9, just southwest of Decorah. Unless this condition is remedied, it seems to us that occasional auto collisions are certain to result. There is a stop sign on Highway 9, but confusion is likely to occur because eastbound motorists on 9 will not know which road westbound motorists on 55 will take. The Hurry Back Inn opens this week just 2 doors east of the Decorah State Bank. Anderson and Dewar are the owners, and they will have short orders and sandwiches. 50 cars filled with 200 of Decorah's civic boosters drove over to Ridgeway last week to accept the invitation tendered them by the Ridgeway boosters to celebrate the completion of the paving of Highway 9. A 4-course dinner was served by the Ladies' Aid there. There were speeches, and a 35-piece band of Decorah High School won popular acclaim during the festivities. A young woman, a stranger here, represented herself as being a wife of a farmer who was getting ready to fill silos. The strange woman visited 4 Decorah stores about a week ago and made small purchases with checks signed by a well-known Hesper Township farmer. It was later found that the checks were forged. The checks were made out for $5 to $20. She was also spotted over in Waukon running the same method. The hunt is on. Okay. It is reported that a stranger came into the J.C. Penney store and purchased blankets for $2.98. He later realized a handsome profit by reselling them door to door for $8. He peddled the blankets as genuine Beacon blankets and made a haul. Beware of door-to-door sales. A handsome new terracotta front has been added to Sugar Bowl Ice Cream Factory building on Water Street. A.R. Coffeen had the contract for the new exterior. The Winona Shoe Tossers defeated the Decorah team at the local horseshoe event on the Milwaukee Road last Sunday. Many people were much interested last Monday in an autoload of Alaskan dogs which went through the city. The fellow was on a lecture tour and stopped to buy gas of Fred Bakken. Okay, there's that, and then I think that might be it. Let's see. Gerleman crowned Winneshiek County Miss Teen United States Agriculture. Grace Gerleman of Winneshiek County has been crowned Miss Teen United States Agriculture. And there she is, just where you would think she would be, standing in front of a field of corn in a beautiful dress. All right, I think that is going to be it for that particular paper. So we're going to move on to the public opinion for Thursday, September 24th. We've got the homecoming court on the front page. Check them out. None of them are wearing face masks for the photo. I don't think they're 6 feet apart. Okay. Decorah High School announces homecoming week activities. Decorah High School Homecoming Week festivities will kick off with Coronation Sunday, September 27th at 6 p.m. The event will be held at Viking Stadium. Coronation will include a performance by the Pride of the Vikings Marching Band and other activities. In an effort to safely manage physical distancing of participants and spectators, the annual parade will not occur on Friday afternoon. Instead, high school students will participate in an outdoor pep assembly and visit middle school and elementary students to share their Viking pride. Okay. Constitution Day was celebrated on September 19th, and in front of the high school, they've got some pictures of people who participated in the parade. There they are. And then there's a new Hy-Vee store that just opened over where the old Quillen's was, and it looks like they're selling nice fruit platters, among other things. I'll have to check that out eventually. Okay, they are tearing up Court Street. Work on the curbing and brickwork of Court Street began last week. A Burning Rock Products crew was working on the project Thursday morning, and there are no parking signs. So I don't know about you, but every time I drive down Court Street, it's kind of bumpy. So I think it's good that they're fixing that, but we don't want to lose those nice bricks. Okay. Luther College to continue in-person instruction with a revised academic calendar in place. Christmas at Luther will be virtual this year. Hopefully we can stream that here for you all. A bunch of letters to the editor about upcoming elections. I don't know. We're going to go for the religion comment from Reverend Shokin Weinkauf of the Zen monastery near here. The Door to Nowhere. That's an interesting title. There he is. Where is the door to nowhere? Usually when we open a door, we expect to go somewhere or get something. The trouble is there are no guarantees. Sometimes things do not go our way. There are many doors in a person's life that go nowhere. In fact, sometimes they end up in disaster. When you open the door to get some fresh air, there is no guarantee that the air is fresh. It could be filled with smoke or a virus. The door to nowhere is a daily experience. Things are never what you expect. You can plan to go somewhere, but reality has its own twists. We opened the door to this year, and little did we expect that we would find ourselves in the midst of a pandemic infection. And also there are days when you don't see anything on the horizon except a smoke-hazed sunrise or other record-setting heat wave with torrential rains. I have heard many people say, I wish things would get back to normal. But what is normal? When you open a door, you expect things to go your way. Normal is our idea of how things should be. To truly open the door is to be ready to deal with things as they are. Ideas for living are just ideas. We all have an idea of freedom and a good life, but it doesn't always turn out. I have been corresponding over the years with a person who has no freedom. He has been serving a life sentence since he was 18. Now it's been over 40 years since he has been in jail. All of his doors go nowhere. He has learned how to walk through the doors that go nowhere, and yet he has spirit and he uses his life to help others. I have learned a lot from him. This week he sent me a letter about patience. He said, "We all have problems with patience wherever we are. At times it can be a challenge. Sometimes things don't make sense. You learn patience in prison. The only way to learn patience is to not let ourselves lose patience. It stops a lot of problems. So, to pass through the doors that go nowhere is to be patient with ourselves and with all of our expectations. We try to fill ourselves with desires. If they get fulfilled, we're happy. If we don't get our desires fulfilled, we get bummed out. The door to nowhere is the door that opens us up to the day that is. Today is today. Can I deal with the day that is in front of me? It is beyond like or dislike. This is truly to live our lives with spirit and enables us to pass through the doors that go nowhere. Then your future will have boundless influence on future generations." All right. Let's see. We go on to, there's an increased number of COVID-19 in the county. Let's see. They think it's because of the Labor Day weekend gatherings. We have had 19 new cases since 4 p.m. on Friday. We have 29 people on isolation, but as you know, that is a number, says Krista Vandenbrink, Winneshiek County Public Health Director. Okay, a Luther grad has earned a Fulbright Award. Luther College graduate Joseph Keeley has moved up from an alternate Fulbright Award winner to a finalist. Keeley, a history and political science major from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, was named an alternate in the Fulbright U.S. student program for 2020-2021. Congratulations to him. Community building fundraiser is in progress. Fundraising efforts are now underway for a new community building in the Winneshiek County Fairgrounds. The building committee co-chairs are Ron Hemseth and Arlen Franzen. Estimated budget for the project is approximately $970,000. The new building will be used by youth organizations during the fair along with other local exhibits. Also housed in the new building will be the Winneshiek County Extension Office. New kitchen facilities in the structure will be utilized by the 4-H clubs during the fair with the capability of serving food both inside and outside. In the off-season, it will be used for any fundraising projects, banquets, weddings, trade shows, meetings, etc. Winneshiek County Agricultural Association representative said the new 120 by 180-foot building will replace the current buildings for exhibits, the 4-H Clover Cafe, and other exhibit halls. It's expected to be finished in 2021. That'll be nice. Okay. Luther College and Good Shepherd Lutheran Church are partnering on a faith journey. Luther College and Good Shepherd Lutheran Church are partnering together to better serve the faith needs of students and community members. Serving as a bridge between the two is Vicar Catherine Thompson, a Wartburg Seminary student who will work with both entities for the next 4 years. Vicar Catherine brings considerable strengths in empathy, listening, and connecting with learners of all ages and backgrounds to her work at Good Shepherd and Luther College, said Reverend Ann Edison Albright, Luther Director of College Ministries and College Pastor. Vicar Catherine adds so much to our team, and I'm excited for the ways that our relationship with Good Shepherd, the Decorah community, and Wartburg Seminary will deepen through Vicar Catherine and her work and studies. Well, here's a picture of her. Hopefully someday we will be able to have people back in, and maybe some of them will be helping us with worship. There's 2 residents from Assihaugen in the paper because they are our centenarians. National Centenarians Day was observed Tuesday, September 22nd this year, and 2 residents at Assihaugen were celebrating, Joe Brannon and Richard Dinger. We are so happy to recognize Joe and Richard again this year, says Orson Bowder, Assihaugen administrator. They are icons at Assihaugen, and we enjoy the opportunity to be enriched by their wisdom. They are both amazing examples of longevity in America, and both are important to our Assihaugen family. Okay, and here is a picture of Joe and Richard from a little while ago, back when we had a beautician in the building. Okay, there's Richard Dinger on his 100th birthday. There's Joe Brannon from last year's ceremony. Okay. And then continues with more photos from Constitution Day, parade, and events. Let's see. Luther College Student Academic Support Center has become the Center for Academic Enrichment. And in essence, academic enrichment speaks to the idea of providing and enriching our students with meaningful and valuable opportunities to support in-classroom learning and to enhance the student experience through a robust co-curricular experience. All right. Don Jose Restaurant has been given a citation for beauty. What's that, you say? Members of the Town and Country Garden Club in Decorah presented the establishment with a citation for beauty to recognize their outstanding use of container-grown flowers and foliage to enhance their place of business and the beauty of downtown Decorah. And that is no lie, they have some nice flowers there. Okay, we have already read the obituaries, so we are good. There's a bunch of really small ads. echoes of the past, and I think we're done. Because the rest is sports. Let's see if there's anything good. 1940, 80 years ago. The school-age boys in this area have formed into groups to aid the smaller tots at school crossings. They are calling themselves the Decorah Schoolboy Patrol. Group captains are Lyle Baker, Gordon Reeves, and Keith Howland. These boys plan to alternate in doing volunteer patrol duty at busy intersections during the school year. The Delaney Standard Service Station on the corner of Broadway and Washington Streets is one of the busiest corners in the city. Gordon Johnson of the city is now the new capable owner of the place. Let's see, Mark Uhlenhacke, the 6-year-old son of Mr. and Mrs. John Uhlenhacke of Ossian, is the first reported infantile paralysis case in the community. We are told his case is a mild one. This was 1940. 80 years ago. Now 1950, 70 years ago, saving up some extra PIN money is the goal of many a young housewife throughout the county, but it is also the goal for some young people too. Kay Bolas, along with Martha and Janice Hagan, have started up a business for some of that extra PIN money. The youngsters have a sign that reads, "Sweeping and baking. We will rake your lawns and sweep your sidewalks as clean as a whistle." The girls charge 25 cents for big lawns and 15 cents for smaller lawns. The cost for sweeping of the sidewalks is 15 cents for large sidewalks and a nickel for the shorter ones. Shovel snow may cost a bit more, 50 cents an hour to shovel your sidewalks. Sounds like a deal. 1960, 60 years ago. Bill Berg is the returning letter winner on the Decorah boys cross-country team. Joining him on the cross-country course this fall are Richard Swenson, Jim Visti, Bob Rasmussen, and Peep Rabasso. That's a great name. There were more than 150 dads, 4-H members, and leaders at the 4-H Dads Night recently. Elected president of the County Boys 4-H organization at the meeting was Robbie But Billy of near Spillville. Lowell McLean of Burr Oak will serve as vice president. All right, 1970, 50 years ago. Jim Weiss, car dealer, and Dave Kelly, sales specialist, recently reviewed American Motors' new Sportabout, a unique compact body style added to the company's 1971 passenger car line. In addition to the company's Hornet line, the local dealers previewed the 1971 Ambassador, the subcompact Gremlin, a new intermediate line called Matador, and an all-new sporty Javelin. The cars will be in a lineup here October 6th. All right, 1980, 40 years ago. Marked since June for removal, the stately old elm trees on West Water Street fell to the tree mover's chainsaw last week, leaving the residential block at the end of downtown district mighty bare. Well, I'm sure they've grown to decent size, whatever they planted since then. 1990, 30 years ago, Lawrence and Rita Ward of Waukon announced the engagement of their daughter Nancy Ward to Steve Weiss. 2020 years ago, the Jack and Jill Building, a 24,000-foot structure situated on College Drive, was gifted to Luther College back in 1998, and the building is still for sale and is currently empty. Well, it's been filled since then, that's for sure. 9-year-old Meredith Bishop of Decorah has won the fairy tale writing contest sponsored by Agora Arts in downtown Decorah. Let's see. 10 years ago, Dr. Pete Blodgett of Decorah is featuring his pottery at Agora Arts in downtown Decorah next week during the American Craft Week. The Decorah Dentist and Agora Arts are donating 100% of the proceeds from the sale of his works to the Decorah Free Clinic. He took up pottery while a student of Dean Schwartz at Luther College. No lights? No problem. Even though the stadium lights went out at Friday night's Turkey Valley football game at Jackson Junction, the Trojan offense was humming all night long. TV won over the Lynx from North Lynn 56-7. Decorah High School's homecoming court includes Queen candidates Kelsey Rittner, Alicia Rilling, Maureen Lanning, Kayla Kregel, Kelsey Strand, and Bianca Wilbur. All right, that is going to conclude it for this week. We'll have current events next Friday. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your day.